Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Look, we're talking about money today, which affects literally every single one of us, but we're going to look at it through a slightly different lens. Think about managing your money exactly like taking care of your physical health. You wouldn't just ignore a persistent hacking cough, right, or skip your annual checkup. So why would you ignore your bank statements? Today, we are strapping on our stethoscopes and becoming financial doctors for a few minutes. We're going to diagnose our habits and set up a real, actionable treatment plan for long-term prosperity.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to be completely honest with yourself for a second. Is your money managing you, or are you managing your money? Seriously, do you ever feel like you're just endlessly stuck on that paycheck-to-paycheck hamster wheel? Do you look at your account at the end of the month and think, wait, where did it all go? If your money is dictating your stress levels and your life choices, well then your money is managing you. But by the end of this explainer, we're going to flip that dynamic entirely so that you are the one holding the reins.
All right, here is our patient intake form for today's visit. We've got a clear roadmap to cure that financial anxiety. We'll start with your financial health check, meet our patients Tuan and Mai, understand your income, categorize your expenses, and finally, build some better money habits.
Section 1. Your financial health check. Welcome to the waiting room. Before the doctor sees you, let's bust a massive myth right here, right now. So many people think financial management is just a luxury for the rich, for people who actually have money to spare. But that couldn't be further from the truth. As Dr. Ngo Ngok Kwang and his partners put it, personal financial management is a need-to-do daily task for everyone, regardless of whether you have a high income or a low income. In a world of economic uncertainty, pandemics, and crazy job markets, basic financial literacy isn't a luxury, it's a fundamental survival skill. It's simply about knowing exactly what is happening with your resources.
Because when you get right down to it, your personal finances function exactly like a business. And to keep this business, your financial body, alive and thriving, you rely on 4 core functions. First, generating income just to survive. Second, spending that money to regenerate your ability to work. Think food, shelter, the basics. But the real magic, that happens in steps 3 and 4. Accumulating your money so it actually generates residual income, and then protecting those hard-earned assets over time. If even one of these 4 activities is failing, your financial health is absolutely going to suffer.
Section 2. Meet Tuan and Mai, our very first patients.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it brings all this dry financial theory into the real world. We're going to look at 2 completely different financial profiles and see what symptoms they're dealing with. Over on the left, we've got Tuan. He's 27, living in Ho Chi Minh City, checking his phone, probably keeping a close eye on his sales targets. And on the right is Mai. She's 22, living in Hanoi with her family, working away on her laptop as she kicks off her career.
Let's pull up their patient charts. Mai is a corporate intern bringing in 7 million Vietnamese dong a month. Now, she has no major living expenses since she's at home, but her goals? A new laptop, expensive certifications, and travel. Then you have Tuan. He's a real estate sales leader pulling in 25 million dong a month, but he carries heavy responsibilities, supporting his family, buying a motorbike for work, and saving up to get married by 32. It's fascinating how Mai's intern salary and lifestyle goals versus Tuan's sales income and heavy family duties require completely different treatment plans.
Section 3. Understanding your income. Time to check the vitals, specifically cash inflows.
If your financial body is a living organism, your income is the blood-pumping energy through the entire system. We need to measure how strong that pulse really is. And here's the thing, not all income is created equal. Based on the famous cash flow quadrant model, we're looking at active income versus passive income. Active income is what most of us do, right? We trade our time, our health, and our knowledge for money. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. Boom. But passive income? That's where a system or your money does the heavy lifting for you. It's like having a tiny financial robot working tirelessly while you sleep. Investments, interest, businesses that run themselves, this is your ultimate pathway to true financial freedom. So how do we strengthen that financial pulse? The source lays out 5 crucial rules. Number 1, start early. Respect the value of money from day 1. Number 2, diversify. Never rely on just one fixed salary. Find a side hustle or start investing. 3, prioritize sustainable growth that actually matches your skills. 4, aim for serious growth. Tuan, for example, targets a bold 20% yearly income bump just to keep pushing himself. And finally, patience. You are not going to become a billionaire overnight, and hey, that's perfectly okay.
Section 4. Categorizing your expenses. Let's check the vitals again. This time, it's cash outflows.
All right, we know what's pumping in. Now we have to check what is bleeding out.
This is where we build the framework to stop budget blowouts dead in their tracks. Expenses basically come in three flavors. Fixed expenses are exactly the same every month. Your rent, your internet bill, predictable but hard to change. Variable expenses fluctuate, like groceries or going to the movies. This is where you, as the patient, have the most control to cut back. But listen to me, pay close attention to irregular expenses. These are the sneaky, periodic costs. Travel, sudden medical bills, a blown tire. If you don't plan for them, these are the hidden dangers that will absolutely wreck your budget.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Let's look at the math on Tuan and Mai's monthly vital signs. Mai brings in 7 million dong, but between fixed, variable, and irregular expenses, she is actually spending 7.1 million. Now Tuan brings in 25 million, and his total expenses sit at 17.5 million. Just take a second to process what those totals mean for their financial health.
Here is the stark, gut-punch reality of our diagnosis. Despite having super low overall expenses and living at home rent-free, Mai is actively bleeding money. She's operating at a deficit of 100,000 dong every single month. She's slowly sinking. Tuan, on the other hand, even with much higher expenses and a family to support, he is managing his cash flow like a pro. He's got a healthy surplus of 7.5 million dong every month to invest and save for his wedding.
Section 5. Building better money habits. It is time for the treatment plan.
Realizing you're running a deficit is only half the battle, right? The actual cure lies in your daily routines. Habits are the daily medicine for your financial health. Let's do a quick mental audit together. How would you grade these behaviors in your own life? Grabbing an expensive coffee every single day after work? That's a neutral or frankly negative habit. It drains cash that could be funding your bigger goals. Tossing spare change in a jar or donating a little to charity? Fantastic, positive habits. But what about immediately shopping for branded goods the second a flash sale drops? That is a severely negative habit. It literally tricks you into buying things you absolutely do not need just because they were discounted. Let me ask you straight up. When you see a sale and your brain says, "Don't hesitate, just buy what you love," is that a sensible reward for your hard work? Or is it an unwise symptom of a much deeper financial illness? If you are living like Mai, operating at a deficit just to fund your lifestyle, that add-to-cart impulse is incredibly dangerous. So what does this all mean? It means you absolutely cannot fix what you refuse to measure. We saw how simply tracking income and categorizing expenses revealed the hidden reality of Tuan and Mai's lives. Now it is your turn. What will your financial health check reveal? I want you to pull up your bank statements today. Map out the cash flowing in and the cash bleeding out. Apply this diagnostic framework. Will you find a healthy surplus, or are you sitting on a hidden deficit? The choice to take control of your financial health literally starts right now. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and here's to a healthier, wealthier you.